All right, boys and girls, for this next assignment, there was a lot on that assignment, and I just want to make sure that you understand what I'm expecting of you. So I'm going to go through it with you step by step, okay? First thing I need for you to do is get out this opinion performance task. It should be in your red folder or your A to Z folder. Now, I know you have it because I saw Mrs. Musgraves pass it out to you on Tuesday, and I saw you put them in your folders. So grab that out. Okay, now on this very first page, they are giving you a task. They are pretending, okay? You have to think this is the task. It's not really. We didn't really do this. They are just pretending, okay? Your class has learned about how different animals can be from each other and how people study them. Now your class is creating a website about the most interesting and unique or different animals. You've been asked to write an article for the website about the most unique animal. Before you decide what you will write, you read two sources that provide information about unique animals and how people try to observe and study them. After you have looked at these sources, you will answer some questions about them. Briefly scan the sources and the 3 questions that follow. Actually, today there's only going to be a chart and 1 question. Okay? Then go back and read the sources carefully to gain information you will need to answer the questions and write an opinion article for your class website. We are going to write the opinion article next week during success period. Okay, for right now, let's do the directions for part 1. You will now look at 2 sources. You can look at either of the sources as often as you like. After looking at the sources, use the rest of the time in part 1 to answer the questions about them. Your answers to these questions will be scored. Also, your answers will help you think about the information you have read, which should help you write your article. You may refer to the sources when you think it would be helpful. You may also look at your notes. What you're going to do, you're going to read both of the articles. You're going to answer a question in a chart, and then you're going to be doing an APEC using both of those sources. Okay, so let's go to the next page. All right, here is source 1, a big underwater mystery. Okay, it's about the giant squid. It's very interesting. I've read it a couple of times. I really thought it was very interesting. Okay, now the second source is an uncommon treasure. It's about the panda bears. Okay, that's a great article too. So what you're going to do, you're going to read both of those articles, and then you're going to be doing this chart. Now, every time we come to a chart like this, I get everybody goes, what? I don't know what to do. Well, let's look what it says. Complete the chart to match each idea on top of the chart with its supporting detail. Mark 1 box under each idea. These are your ideas. There will only be 1 box marked, okay? So animals' bodies help them in different ways. Which one of these support that animal bodies help them in different ways, okay? You will only choose one of these. On this, some animals can be very hard to find. You will only choose one of these. One of these sentences will be for these, okay? So some animals can be very hard to find. Squids have no way to see in the dark. Is that why they're hard to find? Pandas have an extra thumb that helps them hold bamboo. Is that the reason why they're hard to find? Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. 1 box on this side, 1 box on this side. Okay, now you are not going to do this one. You are going to write this APEC. Explain why people want to observe animals in the wild. Why would this be helpful? Give 2 examples. APEC, right there, classic. One from source 1 and one from source 2. For each reason, include the source title or number. Okay, so look at the prompt. Explain why people want to observe animals in the wild. Okay, Why do they want to watch them? What is important? Why is this helpful? As you read your articles, I want you to be thinking about that. When you're reading, say, hey, is that why people want to observe them in the wild? Why is that helpful to them? Okay, that's what I want you to be thinking when you're reading those articles. Try to find text evidence. Go through, highlight if you need to on your paper copy. Oh, yeah, that's why people would want to observe them. Oh, yeah, that's why. Highlight. Find the text evidence as you read. Okay, now, once you do that, you are going to go to your to-do. Okay, up here, to do. Okay, then it's over in my tests. Now, I don't have it on mine because I didn't assign it to myself, but it will say unit assessment for chapter 3, just like it did for yesterday's. Okay, this one will have, here, I'll show you. Okay, let me bring it up real quick so you can see what it's going to look like. Even though it says the same thing, it will be the writing assignment, okay? So if you get in one, it's not the right one. You've already done that one. Don't worry about it. Get into the next one, okay? Student preview. All right. This is what it should look like. There we go, okay? Unit assessment, grade 3, unit 3. Start assignment. You click on it. This is the task I just read to you, okay? You go to the next question. There's passage 1 and there's passage 2. Passage 1, the big underwater mystery. Right here is where an uncommon treasure. That's where you see the second passage, okay? It's right up here. Just switch back and forth, okay? All right, now to go to the first question, you have to go all the way down. This is where you're going to click. Animals' bodies help them in different ways. Okay, which one of these tells me that animals' bodies help them in different ways? Okay, then you click it. Some animals can be very hard to find. Which one of these show me supports that? Some animals can be very hard to find. Okay, once you click both, one in each side, you click next question. All right, this is where you're going to do your APEC. No, that wasn't an Amazon package. Okay, this is where you're going to do your APEC. If you're unsure how to do an APEC, okay, if you are unsure, open up your red folder, and I have put in there an example of an APEC. I've even put that APEC paper in there. It should be in your red folder, okay? All right, now this is where you do explain why people want to observe animals in the wild. This is where you restate. Many people want to observe animals in the wild, period. The text says, then fine. Or you should say, source 1 says, or you can say in, a big underwater mystery. Okay, but you have to say source 1, or you have to state what your passage is, okay? You can't just say the text says. You have to tell me the text says in source 1, okay? All right. Right, then do your APEC. Follow the APEC. If you do it all right, guess what? You don't have to do any reading assignments tomorrow. If you don't, I'm going to assign it again, okay? All right, you can do this. I have confidence. Whoop, whoop.